It's time for another Covrprice top 10 list. Absolute holding strong, but does it hold the top spot? Number one may surprise you. Let's take a look at the list up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video for links to my Instagram, my whatnot, my eBay store, and my email. Covrprice is a comic book pricing service that does aggregate sales of both raw and graded comic books. And they also publish articles throughout the week, including the top 10 books that have moved most in the aftermarket. So let's take a look at the top 10. And coming in at number 10 on the list is a familiar book. Recently, it's Mark Spear's Monsters #1 from Keenspot, a book that was a Kickstarter, and it's the cover A variant with all of these interpretations of the Universal monsters. And there are plenty of different covers. The Bridezilla has been the most popular historically, but I mean, we have a Crime Suspense Stories 22 homage. We have Hulk 181 homages, X-Men 141. So Star Wars. Anyway, this is the one that has been moving the most. The cover A, about $40 for a near mint copy, up to $75. And 9/8 for $120, $150. If we look at the 9/8 sales, and there are only 10 Universal copies on the census. 2 of them are 9/9s, 7 9/8s, and I guess there's a 9/6. And we have according to Go Collect, a recent sale of $150 on eBay for a fixed price. Be interested to see as more of these come to market. I'm sure more of these will be graded in short order once CGC's turnaround times catch up to the book. And based on the trading card game of the same name, this series has been receiving a ton of enviable attention. It landed at the perfect time right before the spooky month, featuring numerous characters that lean into the holiday. The nostalgia factor is also a plus, but this book epitomizes give the fans what they want. We've seen a massive shift in collector sentiment toward the horror monster genre, and this book fits the bill. Let's take a look at number 9, and it's Absolute Wonder Woman #1, cover A, which is still affordable at about a $10 book. 9.8, that might be a pre-order of $54. I haven't yet to read the Absolute Wonder Woman. I've read Superman and Batman. Absolute Wonder Woman is refreshing, delivering a new outing for Diana that has fans excited for what's to come. While Wonder Woman is extremely popular, she hasn't had as many opportunities to radically depart from the status quo she's been shoehorned into over the decades. It's a big change for the character, and the initial release was well received. It hasn't hit the peak of Batman yet, as many titles would fall short of, but fan excitement for this series has been through the roof. The Absolute series is kind of a DC alternate universe reimagining of these popular characters. There's more to come. I believe there are several more titles. I know Green Lantern is coming soon. And they are building on this universe. It's not dissimilar to what Marvel did with their Ultimate Universe in the 1990s. Let's take a look at number 8 on the list. And this is interesting. Star Wars The Force Awakens movie adaptation, issue #1, which is the first appearances of Rey, Kylo Ren, Finn, Unkar Plutt, General Hux, and Captain Phasma. This book is going for about $20, and a recent sale of a CGC 9.8 for $160. If we look at the Go Collect data, we see that $160 at $145, up from a $32 auction just about a month ago. But this book consistently selling in that $100+ range over the last year, and not a ton of sales. There are 286 copies on the census. Just over half of them are in 9/8. This is a book from, what is this, wouldn't be that early. It's 2016. So it's an older book, but not an old book. It's the third trilogy. And Disney recently revealed their tentative plans for Star Wars. Those plans heavily feature Rey and to a degree hinge on the character to continue the Skywalker saga. Fans heard the news and visited the aftermarket in a hurry to secure this book, featuring not only the first appearance of Rey, but a slew of other important characters from the sequel trilogies. Keep in mind that nothing is set in stone yet, and Disney is infamous for pivoting without letting the rest of the world know. So yeah, if they do more with Rey, this book will become... I think it's firmly ensconced as a key. I don't know how much higher it would go. But yeah, it is from the Marvel iteration of Star Wars, which the third trilogy was adapted at that period of time. Let's go to number 7 on the list, and it is Absolute Superman. Number 1, the Jim Lee black and white 1 in 100 variant. Near mint copy selling for about $150 at 9.8. At a last sale of $280. I have to believe these are pre-orders because this book just came out last week. Is that right? November? Yeah, I guess the 1 in 100. I did enjoy the first issue of Absolute Superman. It kind of returns Superman to his roots from what Siegel and Schuster started with as teenagers, where he was kind of fighting for the common man against big business and corrupt government. So an interesting take, and Jason Aaron's writing it. He has the stories in different periods in time, set in Krypton with his parents, and then Superman currently. So some interesting things going on. I actually kind of preferred it to Absolute Batman. So we'll see. I think it is worth a read, and I think there's reason to get excited about Superman leading up to James Gunn's movie coming out next summer. Jim Lee is in the Comic Hall of Fame, full stop. His work on Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman has seen renewed attention lately, thanks to work like this. His style is iconic and brings new and old fans out of the woodwork to get a piece of his art. He also did the 100 variant for Batman and Wonder Woman, all of which have seen their time in the sun. Since Superman is the most recent release, he's receiving the most current fanfare. So, yeah, it is. I mean, the 1 in 100 is going to be expensive. That's all there is to it. And Jim Lee is a very popular artist. Let's go to number 6 on the list. And it is Aliens versus Avengers number 1. The cover A is Saad Ribic, new Miles Morales Xenomorph symbiote alien costume. This is came out this summer, and it's about a $10 book. There are plenty of variants of this cover, including a kind of fun Scotty Young one there. And if we look, there are 81 on the census, just over half of them in a 9.8. But really no sales in a 9.8, according to Go Collect. Are there books available? Somebody's asking 85, somebody's asking 170. A signature series for is at auction. Somebody asking $70. Those are variant covers for this one. Asking 65, 60, the pre-sale for 70. So not an expensive book in a 9.8, but this has been a popular series. Some may have missed when the series debuted, but they got a friendly reminder once issue number 2 was released and continued to push the crossover boundary. This book pulls out almost no punches. It is the alien species versus the Avengers, and in the era of crossover that we're expecting recently, like Justice League, Godzilla, King Kong, it is going quite well. This book also features the new Miles Morales alien symbiote suit, another claim to fame. Fans have been eager to pick up the first issue, which got lost in the shuffle amongst numerous epic releases as of late. I have not read this series, but I kind of look forward to it at some point in time. Let's go to number 5 on the list. And here we are, Absolute Batman number 1. This is the second printing, the Nick Dragotta cover. Very similar to the first print, although not an exact copy. Like Ultimate Spider-Man 1 had all those different costumes that were basically the same artwork, just with different costumes. This is going for about $10-12. We're also not a hugely expensive book. Those who missed out on the first print for this title got a fantastic second option with this book. The new bat symbol caused a ton of discussion before release. That is, until fans saw it in action and quickly quieted that discussion. Now Nick Dragotta leaned into it with the cover displaying this version of Batman at his most lethal, at least that we've seen so far. He actually isn't lethal. He's goes to great pains not to take a life, but he is not shy of maiming people. So he uses pretty distinctive force, but not lethal. Let's look at number 4 on the list, and it's Absolute Batman number 1, cover A by Nick Dragotta. You get $25-ish for this book. And we see here there are 46 on the census plus 8 signatures, all of which are 9/8. There's nothing below a 9/8 on the census, but there are only 54 copies on the census so far. And the prices are right around $100. I guess you could price this at 100 plus. Those available on eBay asking 100, 110.95. So yeah, I think $100 is where the fair market value of this book stands. Now I always say with books that are new and are just getting 9/8 coming out, be wary because the supply is low right now. The supply will increase. The demand probably won't increase at the same pace as books are coming back from CGC. And so far, the Absolute Batman universe has been leading the pack, capitalizing on that success with a solid outing for issue number 2. Naturally, as it didn't flame out immediately, fans are backtracking to secure a copy of the introduction to this new version of Batman. So let's look at number 3 on the list, and it's DC All-In Special number 1. Daniel Samperi, the regular wraparound cover, and it's the first appearance of the Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. But books, $5-10. It's not an expensive book. But I guess people are wanting to get their first copies of these characters. When the book, this book dropped, no one knew just how popular the Absolute Universe would be in such a short period of time. Marking the first appearance of Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, this book surprisingly flew under the radar for the most part, as the fandom was looking past it at the titles to come. Now there's a lot of backtracking going on as the Absolute Universe continues to grow and shows no signs of slowing down. So it will be interesting. I'm wondering, I think it's not an if, it's a when DC is going to kind of cross over the two universes. But I don't think they want to lose the steam of the regular continuity characters, but they're having fun with the Absolute, and it's kind of like an Elseworlds version of these characters, a different take. Sort of like when you watch a TV show or movie, it doesn't have the backlog of decades and decades of continuity to deal with as the monthly comic books more or less do, even though there's a lot. So we've been seeing a lot of Absolute, but number 2 on the list is all new Venom number 39, or Venom number 39, the first cover appearance of the all new Venom. This book, about $10-15. It's going to cost you. There are a few variants. There's a Marvel 2-in-1 variant. That's kind of cool. So let's see what we have to say about this book. Venom has been everywhere lately, whether on the big screen or in the comics. He has all eyes on him, which coincidentally is a perfect time to debut a new suit. Cue this book, the first cover appearance of Venom's new suit. The aptly subtitled Foreshadow variant gives fans a sneak peek at the Venom suit to come when all new Venom debuts next month. I'm not a huge new suit collector, but Venom is very popular, but it's a brand new book, and it's not expensive. High sale of $18, but you probably get one. Probably have a chance to get one for cover price. That takes us to number 1 on the list, and we're going back a bit. It's a little bit of a surprise. It is Forbidden Planet, number 1, by Innovation. It's the official adaptation of the 1950s sci-fi classic. It is a book from 1992. This has been sitting in dollar bins forever. Now it's spiking up. You see all the sales are very recent, anywhere from $15 to a $61 sale. If we look at the census, there are only 29 copies on the census, and only 5 of those in a 9/8. Innovation did a lot of these adaptations of sci-fi properties. They had the Lost in Space. They did Quantum Leap. And did they do Battle of Planets? They did some other stuff around the time, but kind of a short-lived title. There was a sale of $105 for a 9.8, which it had probably been sitting there forever, and somebody probably got a good deal on it because there are only 5 9/8s in existence. And there was talk of this book. This issue popped up late last week, but news began to spread that WB signed a deal to bring this IP to the big screen, with the beloved Brian K. Vaughan set to write the screenplay. Now, it's not based on this comic. This comic is an adaptation of the, I think it's 1956, 1956 film that immediately sent fans to the aftermarket in search of any connections, and they stumbled upon this book. Released as an adaptation of the 1956 film of the same name, Forbidden Planet has often been viewed as the building block of modern sci-fi. It introduced numerous ideas and helped shape the genre that it has become. Fans were immediately pumped about the news and hit the aftermarket in force. Long term, will it stay? I don't know. Maybe if the movie's a big hit, but again, interestingly, I'm guessing there wasn't a Dell version of this book, like a gold key, 4-color adaptation back in the 1950s. Or was there? Actually, I can do this. Oh, come on. Reception, novelization, soundtrack, popular culture. Yeah, I don't know if there. I don't think there was. I think it was a one shot. I'm not sure. Yeah. I mean, it has spiked. Anyway, what about the runners up? That's the top 10. What about 11 through 20? We always kind of flip through those. Absolute Batman, the blank variant, Star Trek Lower Decks #1. Pretty popular TV series. Captain America 230 stays in the top 20 with the movie poster for Captain America Brave New World, kind of homaging this cover with Red Hulk punching Sam Wilson's shield. The foil for Absolute Batman 1, the Dan Panosian 1 and 25 for Absolute Wonder Woman. Daredevil 183. I still have 193 for a CGC 9.8. I do have a CGC 9.8. Yeah, Daredevil is coming to, or Punisher's coming to Daredevil Born Again. So I think this book's going to start to heat up a little bit more, I think. Absolute Batman #1, the Jim Lee, cover B, Werewolf by Night, Red Band 4. That's interesting. It doesn't appear to be, it's a character sketch, character design. New Mutants 98, the first Deadpool still holding on the list, and Amazing Spider-Man 300. Still holding on with the first appearance of Venom. So that's going to do it for the Cover Price Top 10 list for this week, the week of November 18th, 2024. If you like this video, you can check out more. I have other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.